Fortnite is dying, and it's all his fault. Chapter 1. Founding the company. This is Tim Sweeny. He grew up in Potomac, Maryland. He is the founder of Fortnite, and this is why I despise him. In 1989, Sweeny attended the University of Maryland, where he studied mechanical engineering because he was interested in how things worked, and he enjoyed taking apart machines and aspired to create complex mechanical devices, although he was fascinated by computers. And around this time, his father gave him an IBM personal computer. If you don't know what that is, this is what it looks like. It's just a white box with a keyboard and mouse. After his father gave him the computer, Sweeny established a consulting business called Potomac Computer Systems out of his parents' home, but it never took off, and he shelved the company. Later, Sweeny had the idea of creating games that could be sold, programming them at night or over weekends outside of college work. This first required him to create a text editor based on the Pascal language to be able to program the game. This became the basis of ZTT, an action-based adventure puzzle game. He let college friends and those around his neighborhood provide feedback, and he was aware it was something he could sell to other computer users. To distribute the game, Sweeny looked to the shareware model and wrote to Scott Miller of Apogee Software, a leading shareware producer at the time, for ideas on how to distribute ZTT. He revitalized Potomac Computer Systems for selling ZZT, fulfilling mail orders with help of his father, a few copies each day that came out to around $100 per day. Sweeny decided to make developing games his career, and recognizing he needed a better name for the video game company, he renamed Potomac Computer Systems to Epic Mega Games. He would later change it to Epic Games. Now that I've told you the backstory of Tim, let's flash forward to Chapter 2, the beginning of the lies. In July 2017, Fortnite was finally ready for public play. Epic launched the title through a paid early access, and there was a full free-to-play release expected in 2018. Seeing the popularity of other Battle Royale games around the same time in 2017, Epic developed a variant of Fortnite, called Fortnite Battle Royale. It was a free Battle Royale version of Save the World, the original version of Fortnite, which was released in September 2017 as a free-to-play title across computer, console, and mobile platforms.
The Fortnite team has been hard at work on a special project we are excited to reveal.
At Epic, we're huge fans of the Battle Royale genre and games like PUBG and H1Z1, and we thought that Fortnite was the perfect world to build one in. Fortnite Battle Royale is the new 100-person PvP mode coming to early access players on September 26th. So we thought if we took Fortnite's dynamic, destructible world and its unique building mechanics and then combine that with what's best about the Battle Royale genre, that we could create something that was amazing. Fortnite Battle Royale is the 100-player, last man standing PvP experience you know so well, but combined with the limitless world of Fortnite. Everyone starts in the battle bus with a glider and a pickaxe. But from there, how you win, it's up to you.
Player count continued to expand when Epic convinced Sony to change its stance on cross-platform play, allowing players on any device to compete against each other in Battle Royale. By this time, Fortnite has drawn nearly 250 million players as of March 2019. All of this means Sweeny's pockets were massive. And around this time, Epic started collabing with everyone. Travis Scott, Ninja, and even Jordan's got a collab. But this is not where the greed ends. In fact, this is just where it begins. Chapter 3. Is Fortnite dying? It all started in 2020, when one of the biggest Fortnite YouTubers at the time dropped a song called Fortnite's Kinda Dying.
Fortnite's kinda dying. It was always fine until we started trying. Fortnite's kinda dying. But we play the game and then we close it crying. Planes, ballers, brutes, swords.
After the song was released, many people started quitting Fortnite. They realized how bad it was getting, but little would they know what would come in the next few years. In 2023, Fortnite laid off over 800 employees because they were losing so much money. Then, going into Chapter 5, they changed the movement to whatever this is. But Chapter 5 was one of the better seasons, especially considering what would happen next. Chapter 4. Why I really hate Tim. It's now 2026 and we just entered a new season, Chapter 7 Season 2. But then we get an announcement saying V-Buck prices will be increasing from $8.99 for 1,000 V-Bucks to $8.99 for only 800 V-Bucks. To put this into perspective, if you for some reason wanted the SpongeBob sidekick back, which before the increase would be $26.97 US, would now be $35.96 US, and that's not including tax. But there is also one more reason I hate Tim. On March 24th, 2026, Epic fired over 1,000 employees and made this announcement. Today we're laying off over 1,000 Epic employees. I'm sorry we're here again. The downturn in Fortnite engagement that started in 2025 means we're spending significantly more than we're making, and we need to make major cuts to keep the company funded. Now, you might not think much of this until you remember the interview Tim did where he said this.
We've chosen to reinvest heavily in building what we think is the future of technology. We're spending more every year than we're making. And for a bit of time, we were spending over $1 billion a year more than we were making, and we found that to be unsustainable, and we went through some painful layoffs at that time. And then we stabilized, and now we're spending several $100 million a year more than we're making, which we can very well afford to do because we have billions of dollars in the bank, thanks to a combination of the profits we made when we were a very small company with a very big game.
I think he's either lying or Fortnite is in real trouble, and I would almost bet on the second one. So for all these reasons, I'm quitting Fortnite. I'm done making content for the game because that only gives them more publicity, and the only way Tim will stop is if the money goes away. If we all stop playing Fortnite, Epic will lose billions of dollars and maybe actually try to make a good season. But for now, this is the end of Fortnite, and it was all his fault.